now beaming into NerdFT Radio.
This is NerdFT Radio, where nerds full-time, explorers of the metaverse, surfers of the blockchain, and not in our mom's basement. I'm your host, RSG, aka One More Game, Celtics fans, and I'm here with Crypto Crier, aka Dr. Crier. That's pretty funny, Crier. Come on, that was a good one. And
that was a good one.
We have a very special guest, a two-time special guest, Joseph Madding, aka the Vision X. How are you?
I'm doing great, and holy... that was hype. Not gonna lie. Last time I was here, it was not that hype.
Boom!
Bringing it in, baby.
Thank you.
We're going the next level, the next step, making it even more nerdy as last time.
That's right.
I love it.
Nerd it up.
I love it. Killing it.
Awesome, man. How you been? What's going on with you?
Man, I've been busy. For the last 3 years, we've been working and building and playing and creating, testing games in the Sandbox game live on the official channel. And more recently, over the last probably 6 months, we've been working on a project that we're going to talk about today called the Wizzyverse. It's a 10K project that is built inside the Sandbox game first, but by design, will be much bigger than just the Sandbox game. So it's been crazy. It's been a lot of work. In the chat right now, Alex Camisaze Flores is the original artist who had created this wizard character live on a show about this time in 2020. And it's 2023 now. It's stuck true with the community. They love it. They love to see more of it. And so we've turned it into a 10K project. And I spent so much time on the white paper for this project that when I was done, somebody said to me, "You do realize this is longer than the Sandbox Games white paper, and they're a multi-billion-dollar company now." And so I was like,
"That's a good thing."
Happens. You got to make good plans. You got to make sure you're doing it right. Yeah, that's what we've been up to.
Awesome. Hey, me and Crier always say, listen, all these NFT projects, all these crypto, blockchain, the whole nine, they just come out with a game and it's half-ass, unfortunately. And for you to say, hey, you're taking your time, you're figuring it out, it's like you are doing it the way all the other people used to do, and now those are the successful ones. So for you to say that, that is a good thing for the people that are listening. It's taking your time. You do not want to have the
it's either take your time or take 8
play.
Seconds and make a shitcoin. That's like the new...
That's not
okay.
bad.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into shitcoins at the end, Crier. Both him and I have to have a little
bones
word
pick, huh?
Okay? A few, multiple bones, and a lot of hand holding, which didn't happen.
That's fair enough.
We brought you on. We want to talk about this project. But before we go into this project, me and Crier have been not that good with saying good things about the Sandbox, and I'm a man of my word, and I'm up front, and I want to be honest, and I want to talk to you about that first before we get into it. I was a very big fan of the Sandbox in their first alpha pass, if I'm not mistaken. Had a lot of fun, the whole 9 yards. Second one comes around, the same as the last one, a little bit longer, nothing going on, nothing crazy, at least for me. I know Crier, he just got bored of it after a little while. We bring you on here because we need someone to defend Sandbox, and Sandbox needs some defending because a lot of people in the NFT space, at least in the PFP side, have said, what's next? What's going on? What else could happen? And you are here now, the defending champ of Sandbox, to go ahead and tell us why we are so wrong. And please,
it's got a belt.
Did he say champ?
Yes.
coming in defending.
Do your thing.
Here's the
do
thing.
Your thing.
Here's the thing. I'm going to give it to you. All right. I'm going to give it to you right away that if you are not at least to this point, if you are not a parkour game type player, right? If you don't like jumping around and doing that in speedrun style fashion, if you didn't like Mario 64, you're probably not going to be a fan of the content that's out there for the Sandbox game right now.
At the moment. Okay.
At the moment. But what's coming out is coming out in a sort of specific and particularly refined way. So if you don't know, well, of course, I'm working on the Wizzyverse. Alex and myself, who's in the chat, We own a company called The Council, and that is the company that's creating the Wizzyverse. And our 9 to 5 job is to do quality assurance for the Sandbox game. It's to be the pipeline of, can you even build games that meet up to the Sandbox standards, right? And the base of that is, can you build a game that is coherent? Can you build a game where you're actually cutting the land in a way that makes sense, right? You're terraforming, you're routing your players in the right way, a way that's natural, a way that's indicated clearly. It doesn't have to be with a giant exclamation mark over their head. It could just be with that like yellow tarp over the top of an object because you can climb it like a traditional game design. And that's what we've been looking for to this point. But what's about to happen with the Sandbox game and what's going to make it different is that user-generated content is very much not that. The people who are making these games for game jam competitions where they have a chance to win tens of thousands of dollars, they're not making games that are like, run here, talk to that guy, come back, talk to that guy. They're making games that are first-person shooters. They're making games that are breakout.
Fun. They want to play.
They're making games that are... Yeah. One of the top 3 that we announced yesterday that was winning in a game jam competition, I think it was 3rd place, made a game that was like Splatoon, in that you picked up this like orb, right? And you and your teammates would pick up whichever orb was respective to the team. Teams would auto-assign themselves. So you get 12 people who are playing in a game, 3 people of each color, and you're running around this map. And automatically the map logic is lighting up the ground panel that looks like a discotheque, right? Floor or whatever. And whether you're swimming, climbing ladders, flying, whatever you're doing, in that experience, you are lighting up the board around you. And automatically it's recording it on this very large screen on the backside. It's saying your team has 300 points, they got 100 points, whatever.
Fall Guys won, right?
Yeah.
I was literally about to say that, correct, yeah.
And in the previous season, in season number 3, you saw some experiences. The ones that didn't get you crypto were, in my opinion, some of the best ones. So they had one that was like those Japanese game shows where like they would just have shapes and you'd have to position your body to jump through that. These walls were flying at you from all these different angles. And then every 10 seconds, it would delete almost the whole board except for the one color that it said on the walls. So while you're dodging walls, you also had to see like purple somewhere over there. And you're like, oh shit, where's purple? I got to get on this, right? Like the max you could last was like 5 or 6 minutes. And then, so it's like repetitive and fun in a good way, and gets you hype about it. So I think what the Sandbox needs and what it's going to have is that user-generated content, that originality, somebody who, in order to thrive, has to make something different. And at least to this point, the thing that they have going for them for the Sandbox game is that it is still the #1 metaverse by population. You know, when you're at a convention and you go and you look around and you say, show me something better, you can't find one. And so that's, even if it's not your thing, if you're not a parkour person, you're not going to like Decentraland because ain't nobody doing shit there. You know what I mean? You got to dance.
Hey, the 13 people at Decentraland would like the word with you right now.
Now that's fine. That's fine. No. And the thing is, I'm very much not an us versus them kind of person. I don't even work for the Sandbox game at this point. I work to build, like, I have my own company that helps them. But I've never been that person. I've never been Decentraland can't do it. We all gotta go together. We can do it. You have to. Everybody can and should do it. And if they asked me, what can we do better? Absolutely. Let's go. Let's have a conversation about it for a very long time, because game design is game design. If you want it to be 100%. Gamified, then you need to make it that way. If you want it to be social experiences, then you need to make those social experiences stand out and be something different and put them in particular locations. Can't be a muddle of everything.
It has to be success at one of these layers. And I do the individual content, right? That's where Fortnite is going. That's where a lot of these things are trying to, with AI and everything. More people are going to be able to make games in the future. So I do think it's going to be a bright move.
Yeah, and that's another aspect that Sebastian Bourget, he's the COO of the Sandbox game, had mentioned. Right? They are continuing to evolve. When you see AI just step up and explode, he's like, why can't we apply that? Let's do that. How can we make that work in this system? And that just takes time. Really, unless you use AI to design it, and then it takes 10 minutes.
Maybe you're onto something. All right, so here's the thing for me. So when I got into Web3, when I get into the metaverse, and I'm like, hey, what could this mean? What can this be for me? Obviously, growing up, The game I was always playing was, damn it, I'm the one bringing it up, Crier. It was RuneScape, let's say Club Penguin, let's say all these other games where, hey, not only am I having fun doing the quests, doing the mini games, doing just like leveling up, but I'm actually having fun on the social side where I literally was probably wasn't the smartest kid in the world because I was just going into RuneScape and just having a good time and not leveling up anything and not doing anything on the quest side, just literally running around doing dumb shit with my friends. And that was fun for me. Now I play RuneScape. I'm just maxing out everything almost to 99. Just turns out I was an idiot when I was a little kid. That's fine. But what I'm looking for here for this sandbox, for this Decentraland, and unfortunately, the one time I probably felt it, at least on the metaverse side, was Crier. You were there with me. It was in Decentraland, actually, and it was with Deadfellas when they had that party where a bunch of people were there. Psych, the co-founder and artist, was literally, hey, follow me, Redsoxguy. Let me show you the whole place. Like, you had fun and you weren't actually like gaining something from it. So when I looked at the sandbox, my idea, the vision for me was, hey, this could be something like that for me in the future. Obviously, like I said, season 1 passed. It was new to me, so I'm having a blast. But once you got into season 2, and it was very similar, just different. It was just very similar. It was like, all right, what's next for it? And then you guys just mentioned where it comes into the multiplayer aspect of it, where you're with some other person doing the things together. And I feel like at first in that season 1 and not even season 1, in the season 2, it was very hard to feel like it was a sense of multiplayer.
Yeah, we couldn't connect with each other.
Around.
It was like tough to find other players or something like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no,
so
and
that's how I would
that,
look at it. That's how I would look at it. And of course, we're in Web3. We're in this decentralized format where we're building with the team. So we're seeing the ugly, and we're not just seeing the best of the best. So we're part of that said community that's helping to bring out this game into mass adoption, the whole 9. So there's not that many people that are willing to go through the struggles, through the bad. I just felt like Gary Vee right there using hand motion. Oh God, this is bad. Going through the I got to put my hands down. Going through the struggles and going through the bad stuff, where obviously a lot of people in this space unfortunately have the attention span of an ant, of a goldfish, and they want everything right away. Kind of what me and Joseph wanted with our shit coins, but Crier dumped on us. But besides the point, again, what would you say to that? Where is your head at with what I just said there?
Yeah. Okay. So when I look at it, I'm full disclosure. Last year, maybe I got my first 99 in RuneScape. All right.
Ooh, I see. I talk all this shit, but I haven't even done that. But go.
My account's 20 years old. I straight up made it like the launch month.
I love it.
So, or 21 years old now. God, I'm old. So we have fun in there. And you had fun in a lot of different ways. The direct connection, like you said, the social aspects of it were always good. When you see somebody who's doing a task, if you just stop and help them, that always made their day better. It makes your day better when you're having fun, because you can be like, oh, look, you're new. Okay, here's a nice thing. And they're like, holy shit, that's worth $1 million gold. And you're like, it means nothing to me. Enjoy. That's fun.
Bobble.
A lot of when you talk about metaverse gaming, you really don't have the opportunity to do that in almost all of the spaces right now, because the marketplaces aren't directly integrated into the games, right? So you can't have a thing that you think, and right, this is worth 2 cents and I don't really give a shit about it. Here's a sword. You can't do that right now. If you could, I think that would help a lot. Now, to the point, like the social aspects, Decentraland and games like that. Somnium Space comes to mind when I think about this. They have a lot more users that probably have a VR headset. They've got a lot more users that probably have a high quality microphone. But when you look at a space like the Sandbox game, one that wants to become something you're playing on your mobile phone, the Decentraland and Somnium Space have prox chat, right? Which is your microphone works based on a distance from another player, and you just talk to them. And that helps the social so much. If that was inside the Sandbox game, you'd have terrific social. But back to the point of it going on mobile, imagine how many smoke alarms and crying children you would hear if you had the Sandbox game on prox chat. because it's a different market.
Yeah.
It's a lower end.
I'm just thinking
market.
like a prox chat and like Warzone, and I fucking hate it because it's just like
Oh, it was
nonsense.
good, but that was a
never
lot of
been
fun. When
Prox-
that happened, that first month was phenomenal on Warzone. Like we had a blast.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
Oh no, it's super fun. It's super fun. The only thing is you just have to like it's for certain people. Like I turn off my prox chat, but my party will always have theirs on because they're more tolerant to like that kind of stuff. And I've got like really good headset. And so like when I hear like that high pitched squeal, it's you got me. But they have it on because it's a tactical advantage in a game like that. Oh, I hear some kid talking to his friend and you're like, oh, you're done, kid. Yeah, it's over. Where are you? You're right next to me. But you're really not. Again, that's in the Sandbox game. And right now it's on PC and Mac, right? So you could probably do that and it'd be fine. But do you have prox chat when it's on mobile? Not totally sure. Can mobile phones really handle it? And so it goes back to the number of users. The Sandbox is less intensive on the PC. More people can play it. So more people are playing it, whether it's fun or not fun in their opinion, right? The people who are, I think Decentraland could do better to have standards for its design. If it did, then more people would be there because you could just say, this is the specs you need to play. Done. But they don't. It's open. It's anybody can make whatever they want. So yeah, I think Metaverse is going to apply more centralized in terms of what type of game. You're going to find your box, you're going to find your RuneScape out there as things continue to evolve. And Metaverse has always been a BS term anyway for like your AOL chat room. It's like, where are you having fun? So it's there
with your friends. Like, where are your digital friends hanging out? That's
exactly.
Twitter is the current metaverse, essentially, or like
your Twitter Spaces are definitely your metaverse. It's just no faces, no avatars. So
when are we gonna merge all these together? That's what I want to see.
Yeah, that's the one that's merging them all is making all the money, and they're not going to want to do that at Twitter and Facebook, Instagram, whatever. They're not going to want to put them together.
This is where Tim Cook is supposed to be knocking on the door and making something happen. But hey, it is what it is. Apple, thank you again. I'll take my paycheck later on. All right. So my next question to you would be on the side of the proxy chat, on the side of the speaking. Obviously, the voice would make it a lot more social and whatnot. Obviously, this RuneScape didn't have that. Club Penguin didn't have that. All these other games didn't have that. And you still found a way to do it. How it's really, this is either showing my age or showing that I'm just on console a lot more now. But like when I was on the Sandbox to type to someone next to me or whatnot, it just didn't feel as good as it did on a RuneScape, on a Club Penguin, on a whatever it is. I feel like just even the little dynamics of that, it was just not there, and which then led me to just doing the season pass and that's it, and then turning off the game. It wasn't a place where I found myself again going in and just shooting the shit and hanging out. I would rather just go to a Discord. Shout out to the NRN Discord, because every other Discord is too complicated to be in. But I'd rather just do that, or like you said, go over to a Twitter Spaces and have that voice aspect of it, or to be honest, just go to Discord, or last one, just go to Miami and have a great time with all my friends. But that's besides the point. So yeah, what would you say on that side, where I feel like Sandbox like hits on so many things at points, but sometimes just even the small little pieces, like they're not hitting, and I feel like it would be so easy just to add that sense of like simplicity, and I feel like they just make it like sometimes too hard for someone to just understand. I don't know.
Okay, right now inside the Sandbox game, I think it could change if you just wanted to do text, right? If you just wanted to do text and you wanted to reach back to the Club Penguin and the RuneScape feels, then the text needs to come up over your head when you say it.
Yes.
Right. That's it. That's it.
That's all.
It's done.
I'm in.
Easy. Now, RuneScape was different because when text did come up over somebody's head and you were trading, you remember you're standing there in the pile of people who are trading and it's just a wall of text. How do you stand out? They needed to start doing colors and like wavy whatevers, right? To make your text pop out. So you could apply that as well if you're going to want it. Yeah. It's now the Sandbox has 40 people per instance max, right? Maybe it's a little bit less than that depending on if the server detects 40 and then it closes you out at 36. Doesn't matter. So you have 30 people in there. You probably don't need all the crazy stuff, but I would agree that it would look better if the text was over your head. Now on the other side, we're living in the future, right? The internet's better. People do video for fun. Back in my day, we couldn't do that. All right. You just,
You're not wrong.
text was all there
Yeah.
was. If you did voice chat with everybody, you would all have to sound like a VCR that was scrambled. Like you couldn't do it in high quality. So I think it's different now. And we're going to see, I don't know, like somebody who's 20 years younger than I am doesn't want to type. They don't have to type. My kid, when she was using her tablet, she would push the voice search button because why would you type? So having voice chat in your system, if you're thinking about the future, might make a lot more sense than even caring about text at all.
Absolutely
But
right.
if
Definitely
you want the
agree on that.
text there for the person who mutes all, then yeah, there should be a box over their head.
Damn. So you're pretty much telling me I'm just getting old, and I don't look
Yeah.
old, but like I'm getting old is what you're
We're
saying.
old.
I'm
That's
older.
it.
We're both older
It's-
than you.
You
Yeah.
got
Damn. I'm upset now. It is what it is. But hey, listen, we're going into the future. You're absolutely right. And I remember actually when I was playing RuneScape, I would actually do a 3-way call with 2 of my friends, and it would be on a landline. And we would just hang there and just play a RuneScape. But of course, there were other friends that weren't on the phone that you would message them. There were other random people that you were talking to that would do all my work for me, and I would then sell it for a lot more. I had a lot of people do that for me in RuneScape. So again, yeah, we're evolving.
I wasn't allowed to talk to people. I was playing EverQuest at this time when you guys were talking about RuneScape. I was on dial-up, so I couldn't even talk to other people. You had to
same, but also MSN Messenger at the same time.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Or whatever, Windows Live eventually,
AIM,
or whatever.
AOS Messenger.
Yeah, AIM for sure.
Dude,
Yeah.
what the heck is EverQuest?
Were you
Was MMO.
serious?
Wow. All right.
Yeah,
like the
it's
original.
like
I
the
must have-
first MMO. It's actually still up. And
See, I was still young. I was still too young for that. I got in on the RuneScape side. But enough about this. Enough about this.
Well,
What we need to go
nostalgia
ahead,
here.
Crier. A
Alright.
little bit of nostalgia in there. But what I would love to go into a little bit is what you guys are building over at Wizzy. I need to know a little bit more because obviously you're here for a reason. That reason is to, number one, nerd out with us, hopefully. And number two, we
course.
got to talk about this project. What are you guys specifically doing and what's going on? Go ahead. The floor is
Okay,
yours.
what we've got going on is 10,001, the Sandbox game avatars that we are releasing. These avatars, I'm going to hit all the hot spots because we've got 14 pages worth of white paper. So I just pulled up my spreadsheet to save a little time here. These avatars right now, we're going to have 16 of them that are uniques. This is a huge selling point, I think, for a lot of people. These uniques, we want to own them at the end of the day. But in the minting, those uniques are randomly allocated. So it's not like we could just go pick them right out of the mint. So when the minting is finished and they're all sold out, we're going to buy them back from the people who get them. So if you have one of 15 different uniques, and these all have like lore beats and specific reasons why each character is what they are, as this Wizzyverse continues to evolve. If you have one of these 15 different uniques, we're going to offer those people on OpenSea for 30 days, 7 days after the mint, 9,594 sand tokens to buy them back. A sand token is about 52 cents right now, which means we're going to offer you about $5,000 to buy it back from you because we want them. We want to use them in competitions and giveaways. And if you are the person who mints the most unique one, the one that is the origin of the lore, we call it the Prismatic Wizzy, we're going to offer you 143,914 sand tokens, which is about $75,000 to buy it back from you. You could say no if you want.
Who the heck's going to say no? Hold on. We're not in the bull market anymore. Hold up.
Yeah, that's
What's going on
right.
here?
Somebody told me it was a bear market. I said, no.
No.
No,
We
it's
are
not. It's not. It's just a bunch of shit. The things that are going out there right now are just trash. People are buying shit coins because they're bored. All right.
Sorry.
If something good comes out there, you're gonna want it. And that's not even the features. That's just a thing here. So,
I love it.
Wow.
okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
Wow.
What you
Make sure
got?
I get that mint.
I just, if you want to say that one more time, how much that is. But hey, listen, for the listeners, I hope you pull that one. That's the one that you should be going for.
That's the one to go for.
All right. And with the funds that we
Go ahead.
we buy back all those wizards, right? From you, the Wizzies. We buy back all those Wizzies. We're going to be building 9 specific projects that release in the Sandbox game because that's where we're from, right? That's what we know. will build those experiences in the Sandbox game, and those projects that get built will have competitions attached to them. So not only do we buy them back from the community, but now that we own this $5,000 wizard, we're going to be giving them away in contests, competitions, so that the person who originally got it, maybe they can win it again. Maybe somebody who just got into the project and they own one of the other wizards, they want to get one of the special one of ones because they're having a good time, they're having fun. They play these projects, these experiences, and they win one of those. And among those contests and competitions, where there will be a total of 16, one of those will be that prismatic Wizzy asset, that $75,000 wizard that somebody can then just win, right? So not only do we want to buy them, but then we also want to give them away. But that's why we want to buy them. And if you choose not to sell them to us, that's fine too, right? Because you believe that the project's great. You want to hold on to this unique. That's okay. We'll pare down the number of winnings based on how many people will be willing to sell them back to us. But those experiences, again, to your earlier point, will be unique and fun. We are doing things differently because the company behind making those experiences is the one that does all the quality assurance testing for the Sandbox game, the one that's onboarding people that could make experiences for Gordon Ramsay. So when we look at our own projects, we say, hell no, that sucks. Make something better, right? And we do it correctly. So we set that apart. Among additional utility, we don't want this to just be a Sandbox game project. And with that in mind, we're spending 10 ETH on a clubhouse in the other side. Because if you haven't been looking at what that means, 10 ETH will get us on the center island where only apes own. That's important. In terms of location, you're going to be centralized, your Wizzy, your clubhouse with your friends in the metaverse that is social and you're having fun will be centrally located. So people from the outside will be able to come into your space. In there, we'll feature people, feature their projects, feature their assets, their wizards, their whatever it is, their socials, because we want to make sure it's community focused. So we'll develop on the other side. We'll spend about $52,000 to develop in that space so that the experiences built there is actually fun and engaging. Get real developers making real content in there instead of just saying, oh, here's a dance floor, good luck, because that, to me personally, bothers me quite a lot. I want to see something really good. We'll be building
to hear that
custom art NFTs, specifically allocated 35 grand towards taking, let's say you don't love the voxel style, right? Everybody knows the Sandbox game. It looks kind of like Minecraft. So if you don't love that voxel style and you want something else that still represents your Wizzy, we'll spend 35 grand to have custom art done for everyone's wizard.
Nice.
So, that's going to mean if you love your Marvel style and you want to see your wizard looking like Marvel comics, then, and I know you do, I know you do, then that will be what that budget is. Got him. I knew I got him. Come on.
There it is.
I've seen the wall. All right. I've seen the shield. Yeah.
There it is.
Then we also have integration with partners like FlickPlay. And if you don't know what FlickPlay is, it's an augmented reality, right, where you could literally dance with the Wizzy on the screen. So we got partnerships with FlickPlay. We got partnership with Star Atlas. So Star Atlas is making us a custom exclusive skin for one of their more popular spaceships called a Pierce X4, and they're giving us a bunch of Pierce X4s. In exchange, we guarantee that we would buy and build a clubhouse in Star Atlas as well in one of their central space stations. So that means everybody who's in the Wizzyverse will be able to go to that clubhouse and receive a unique skin that represents that Wizard's platform. Now, further, because we are buying Star Atlas assets, we're also going to be able to give away a bunch of spaceships in Star Atlas as well, regularly. So as people own these Wizzies, they are getting cross-metaverse compatibility, but also we're not just saying, oh, come here and show up. It's, you're getting cross-metaverse compatibility and you're able to play and you're able to integrate in that ecosystem.
I think it's really one of the most powerful aspects of all of these collaborate, like Web3 in general. It's like the collaboration aspect of what you're telling me is you're going and targeting not just Sandbox, you're going to other side, you're going to Star Atlas, you're probably anyone that's open to you is going to be able to now join in on this clubhouse experience where you're finding community who all wants to participate in metaverse activities, right? And you're
absolutely. Yeah. And
it's a really good idea, I think.
When you look at all the guilds that are out there already, these people who are specifically working to make cash in these spaces, some of those people don't really have on-ramps, right? And so the Wizzyverse could be that on-ramp for them. where they own this wizard and now they get this spaceship and they can use that spaceship to go make some cash in Star Atlas. And, that if you haven't looked into their platform, the reason why I selected them specifically is they have probably the most, I'm going to call it intense and specific macroeconomics math. Like they have statisticians specifically going, this is exactly how many people integrated with us this month, and
it's like
how
the
many
EVE
of those
Online
used
of
ships.
like the
it's
NFT.
Crazy. Yeah,
it's very
and like
economic driven. We've already talked about it a couple of times. Star Atlas looks super impressive to me.
Oh yeah,
we've talked about it a few times.
Yeah, and I looked at it and it's the most high fidelity out there, right? On Unreal 5.1 now, and so it was like, let's integrate that with our space. And the great thing about that is when I was in that meeting with them and we're talking about, so how do they want to interoperate? Because they came to the Sandbox and they wanted to talk about interoperability. They were like, look, we're open. We're whatever you want to do. Show me what you want. Let's work on it. And so each one of us just made some guarantees. And it makes me really happy about that, because even down to their lawyer was like, yeah, this sounds great. And I'm like, that's crazy to me, because usually lawyers are like dicks.
Yeah,
your job is to disagree.
Yeah. So anyway, so they're super hype and happy, and we're hype and happy to have them. And again, that custom asset, I specifically went, I want 10,000 to end one. And the guy was like, end one? I'm like, yeah, that's how many we have. So we want one for everybody. The custom skin there, those will be distributed as we distribute these spaceships. And we'll be able to generate spaceships infinitely based on the partnership deal that we've made. Whether somebody joins today or in 3 years in the Wizzyverse, we're going to continue to be able to give out these Star Atlas onboarding ships with the end later on, different skins as if we run out of that 10,001. And then the Wizzyverse has been around for 3 years, right? So the last point, besides all the conferences and the parties and all that stuff that you come to expect with good projects, is I was talking to the community, talking internally to our staff, and somebody said, I want to see more rewards in the Sandbox game. So right now, we've been giving away wizards that look like this that you can use in the Game Maker for a long time. We've been giving away hats that you can wear, like armor, swords, whatever, right, that you can use inside the game. The cheapest you can buy one of those right now on OpenSea is about 150 sand tokens, right? So 150 sand tokens for one of these assets. You're talking about $75 to buy one. Yeah. And we're going to give away a full set of armor with each wizard. So if that price is true, a full set of armor is 6 pieces at 150 sand a piece. It's approximately 900 sand that we'll just give away for free. And it's going to look good. It's going to fit the character. It's not going to be this mishmash, because I think you run into that a little bit in the Sandbox game too. If you put on a Cyber Kongs and then you try to put a helmet on, the Kong's head is bigger than the helmet. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. But we've got the lead artist in the Sandbox game, or one of those lead artists on the team. We've got some of the best people in the Sandbox game in our team. So it's easy for us to do it correctly. So it'll look good. It'll work well. And as a result of those two things so far, the price has stayed strong, because each of those assets, we've straight up given those away for free. For them to be 150 sand a piece minimum, people just aren't willing to get rid of them. 100%. And I think that's a really good testament.
That's the power of free NFTs. That stuff, free NFTs are like the most powerful aspect of like hype and like marketing. You've seen it multiple times. We've seen how many free projects hit like the high. Look at Goblin Town, or look at, I don't know, probably 15 of these things that have been free. Those little, they absolutely rip, because people are like, wow, it's free. They thank you so much. I'm going to go spread the word.
Yeah, absolutely. And like when they're free and community, I think those two things really take it to that next level.
Really well.
And they go all the way up. Yeah. Yeah. And so besides that, we plan to do a huge blowout in New York during NFT NYC 24, huge blowout in Paris. That'll be a closed event, because there's nothing really necessarily around that. We'll just go have a good time. So let the community know. We'll spend about $100,000 on each one of those, because we want to do it. Make sure that
we're just dropping a bunch of money.
No, but the thing is, like,
I gotta be in.
These projects aren't. I think that's the thing about these kind of projects, right? And forgive me if you're the guy who did it, the gal who did it, whatever. But if you go and you take people's money, if you bend.eth it, screw you. You know what I mean? We do not want to build this so that we can just take money and go buy a Lambo. You know what I mean? We want to do this so that we can give you what you wanted the whole time, because we've been around. I've been here. 2016 is when I started in crypto. Like, I've seen it go up, down, sideways, hit the absolute bottom. People say it's dead. Hey, guess what? We're here again. It's supposed to be dead.
ETH was cheaper than a toilet paper at one point.
Yeah, that was crazy. People built Bored Apes now But 3 years ago, right, when everybody said, well, it's dead, it's never coming back, oh, everything's over, and they were like, I'm bored, I want to do it right. They were bored, they did it right. I think that's what we're doing here. So all of what we are bringing in any kind of revenue that we bring in needs to be built back into that community. It needs to be built back into the project. And I guess the other thing that I did differently here is that when I made my plan, I started with an Excel spreadsheet. That's boring. That sucks. But I put percentages on absolutely everything. Percentages for asset utility, because I was like, okay, yeah, sure, it launches. Let's say that we have turnover, because I see a lot of people in the chats, they get mad when other people sell it. People got pissed at me when I sold my mutant ape to help buy my house. They were mad in the chat. They were like, oh, yeah, like you're a garbage person.
How would you? No, we might have to end this here.
Live in a box. Keep your ape. Shut up.
The thing is, they don't think about the fact that when I sold it, the Bored Apes got 5% of that sale. The utility aspect comes from that percentage.
You changed your life.
And so,
you got a house.
yeah. But the percentages that I put on the sheet, I want the community to know that if somebody does sell it or resell a Wizzy or whatever, if they try to flip them, well, that's only good for everybody who's not flipping them. So the plan is going to stay true today, tomorrow, and forever. Like 25% of this allocation for all funds that ever come in are going to custom merch collections, right? Because people always want that. You always want to see people get shirts and hats and sweaters and shoes and whatever it's going to be. I'm okay. To be fair, no. I'm sick of screen printed black hoodies.
That's fair.
Also,
we can go.
Yeah, there we go.
We got white. Great. Let's do it.
Yeah. We'll probably have to do green after tonight. It's fine.
Ooh.
The clubhouse funds, right? That's still got a percentage to it. So when that's done, it's okay. What's the next metaverse you want to go to? Because we have this much money, right? And it's always integrating and talking to the community and being connected. And I think that everybody who's been watching those live streams of the official Sandbox for years, the people who know me, the people who know Alex, know that we're always going to be that. In fact, so much that like even when we were talking about as our main company, how much money do we want to make? Like us, we own it. We're the ones who have to like do all the hard work. I put that in quotes because that shit pisses me off too. We're like, no, we're not going to go get paid 10x on people. That's ridiculous. Like we want to. So we've always had this interest of fairness. We've always had this interest of rebuilding back into the community. And even beyond this plan, Alex has already been like, nah, if you guys like the Sandbox stuff, I'll build you more of the Sandbox assets like all the time, because he's just passionate about it. The old stuff, we're not leaving the old ones behind. The ones that we've given away for free, we're not leaving those behind in this plan. We've got like different integrations and ideas for it. I want the communities that come in, the new people that come in, to understand that we've been here, we're staying here, and that we're continuing to reinvest in them. And hopefully, if you're in our Discord and you're reading that white paper and you're looking through the full details of it, you'll be able to tell that. And anybody who's got questions about those, of course, we're like literally 24 hours a day, pretty much in that Discord. We got people in the UK. I've been up at like ridiculous hours, as I mentioned earlier, for this launch. And Alex, of course, most of us are in the USA, but I'm willing to wake up whenever to do whatever. Yeah.
Hey, that's a man with a plan and someone that's going to answer your question. So remember, head over to the Discord. Now, the most important question that I have for you is when?
When? Summer. All right. I think doing it correctly means under promising and over delivering. I think you've seen that in any good project, right? Yeah, like when wab.eth comes out with the Sappy Seals and here's this new thing. You didn't know about it until it's out. Now, that said, I also want to set expectations and meet expectations. So when I say summer, it's because we want it to be as early as possible. And generally, it'll be around 30 days from our announcement period. But everything has to be fully done. Because to me, I hate projects that come out and they say, we're definitely going to release it on this day. And then they're like, we just delayed it. Yeah. That bothers me so much. I don't want to do that to the community. I'm not talking about doodles, but it's fun that you came up with something that wasn't on my mind. That's fun.
One of our 30 of projects that we've seen do that.
Yeah.
Literally the dumbest move ever.
There's so many projects that do it. And it's all over, especially like in the Web3 space where like a lot of people, they know how to do the crypto part and they don't know how to do the execution part, or they know how to do like the game design part, but they don't know how to do the marketing. So what we're doing differently is that we're making sure that all the assets are 100% complete. All of the we want the minting page to be tested before we announce that there's going to be a mint.
Live. Gotta pause mint, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that. Where like I go in to buy an NFT, I'm hype about your NFT, and then all of a sudden it's our website took a shit. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to have a good launch. I want to have a good time with people. I want it to be smooth because you shouldn't know. You shouldn't feel it. It shouldn't feel Web3.
I read an article that's reminded me of this. Yeah, we were talking about Zelda before we started. Zelda was delayed a year.
Yeah.
And do you think that was a good move? I 100% think it was a fantastic
Absolutely.
move.
Yeah, you're talking about a game of the year.
Polished. Yeah, I mean, look at something like, especially when it comes to gaming, like you really look at Cyberpunk. Like that game is very good. No one played it because
Well, what do you mean no one played it? It sold so many copies at launch. Unfortunately, there were so many glitches for the individuals on PS5.
Yeah, let's look at the secondary resale of these things, or not, or just look at after that day. Pre-purchases were very high. Purchases after that extremely low.
Still sold a lot of copies, and they were one of the games that now a lot of people are playing now. So they actually
came back and brought it back. If they actually released it like this and had it polished at the beginning, how many more people would be playing that game? That game's incredible.
A lot more people, absolutely. Agreed. 100. By the way,
if the game's still not polished, I played it like a month ago. I straight up turned it off in 2019, and I'll be back to this when it's got like 10 patches and like people are hyping it. And then they did that anime, and everybody was like, "Oh, we're gonna play this."
That's what I was gonna say. The anime was the one that was that good for a lot of people that they're like, "Hey, let's go back and try to go at it," and that's what's going on that side. But hey, you gotta put some respect on it. I had 2 glitches when I played.
Okay, let's do. How about Anthem?
An Xbox
Anthem
One.
there. Remember that game
was a little rough. Yeah,
Anthem was polished but hollow.
It was awful. Literally the worst $60 I've ever spent in my life.
Yeah, so you get literally the beta was the whole damn game. I was so mad.
I was so pissed. Yeah. My friend was like, "Dude, you gotta buy it. It looks so good." I'm like, "All right."
It did look good. They did a great job of making the trailer. Great job, guys.
You gotta read the bottom where it says this is not actual footage from the game. They're making it a little bit better. Pokemon does that to us all the time.
That's true.
By the way, I did want to mention, you guys are going to be shocked about this, but yesterday before the Celtics game where we saw the Celtics win game 6 of the Eastern Conference Final against the Heat, that they were up 3-0 and now it's 3-3 and they have a chance of going to the finals by winning 4 games in a row. And no one's ever done that before except the Boston Red Sox in baseball in 2004. Sorry about that. That was a little rant. But before the game, you know what I actually did, Crier? For the first time ever, I actually played Pokemon, like the card game, like with cards on a table with dice, the whole 9, like the little whatever, like everything. I've never done that. I've only been on the Yu-Gi-Oh side, but I did want to let you know that I destroyed everyone, and it was like beginner's luck, but it was actually a lot of fun. And now I'm overly obsessed, and I'm probably gonna buy a crap ton of stuff.
Wait, hear me out. Hear me out. Unless you just absolutely love the people you were playing cards with, wait 2 weeks because Pokemon the card game is getting a new release on your computer.
Sold.
So you'll be able to play the card game competitively, like Magic the Gathering Arena.
Gathering. Nice.
Yeah. Sold. You already got me. I'm a Marvel snapper over here, but maybe I can dabble on the Pokemon.
Somebody's got to educate me on how to be good, by the way, because I swear to you, I see your tweets. Yeah. Because I try to play Snap, right? And I'm like, I'll get to like rank 30. That's it. Oh, and straight up, I'm using your builds. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, screenshot this guy. And it did not work. My wife came around the corner. You talking about Marvel Snap right now?
It's money. That game. Yeah. I love it.
I like the game a lot.
Marvel Snap.
And I am a huge, I've played, 20 different trading card games. I love trading card games. I like Marvel, but I fucking hate how they give out cards. Like, I just want to get the card. Like, I don't want to. This is the most annoying thing I've ever seen in my life.
Hold up, Joseph. Ever since this man made a shit ton of money on Pepe, he's just give me anything I want. I'm gonna buy it all. That's why the grind isn't there anymore for him. It's so easy. I'm kidding.
Pay to win, baby. No.
He's like, I'll win.
I'll buy all of
it. Wait. But let's
It's
talk
still
about
randomized.
okay. No, it's not at all.
No,
It's
no,
not at all.
like,
That's the thing.
Marvel Snap isn't. I want the random card pack.
Oh,
Like, I want
you
the
do
packs,
want the
man.
random. That's crazy.
I like
to
the
me.
packs.
That's
I like
crazy
the
to me
packs.
because I like the Marvel system because in the early days when it very first released, like the people who figured out that you just don't level up, like just hold all your shit forever until you like can push all the way to the next tier. Like those were the people who succeeded because you just have trash deck playing against trash deck and you end up playing against worse people because of it. But yeah, so that's the way that you play the meta. It's like new stuff comes out and you just hold on to what you know unless you're already all the way up
Playing.
there.
I'm
like
literally playing like the same
RSG
deck I
over
built
here.
from the beginning.
From day one, this man.
Day
Yeah.
one. I'm using the same deck that I.
Hulk
and
and
it's
Iron
just like
Man out here. Yeah.
it is Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not Hulk though. I don't like Hulk.
Okay.
But
Phenomenal now.
it is
by the
good,
way.
but I don't know. It's just all really high ramp cards. They're the best at that price point, essentially.
Sure.
Or the cost.
Yeah.
By the way,
That's all I
Kyle,
play, and it
we
fucking
can-
murders. Like
We've
fucking
never
crushes
played
people.
yet, by the way. We can play. We've never done a friendly battle. We should probably do that.
I'll never 1v1.
I need to go 1v1 on that side. But enough about Marvel Snap. That's for another day, another time. By the way, 113 at the moment. Doing pretty well
Wild.
over there. High
pretty good.
Evolution is like this dude, he's awesome.
I did.
And right now
I did get that card. And I don't have Luke Cage. That's why I'm salty right now.
So hear me out. You can still do it without Luke Cage. We will talk afterwards.
Can
Yeah,
you?
you can. You can. Yeah, you can. 100% you
It
can.
doesn't seem like it.
No, you can. We'll figure it out together. But, because I'm actually using him now without Luke Cage. So I'll
Okay.
show you what I got on that side.
Alright.
The other thing I did want to talk about, because we've been rambling.
That's right.
Have you been playing Zelda? Come on, man. Yeah,
Me?
yay or nay? No, not you.
You want me?
Yeah.
No,
have you been
okay.
playing Zelda?
Okay,
Come on.
so
That's
no,
the
but
only reason
Oh
you're
my
here
God.
is to ask that question.
I'm going to say no, but.
Oh.
Okay, so my wife is a teacher. This is her game, right?
Okay.
Breath of the Wild just ate her life. And
My life.
so now we have just elected not to buy it because if it's installed on the Switch the last month of
gone.
school as an educator, it's over.
It's
and
over.
so it's not, you can't do it. You can't buy it. Now, that
summer.
said, it's the summer of Zelda.
It's coming
for
close.
sure.
Yeah.
I'll be
It's such a
honest.
good game, man. It's incredible.
I know that it's game of
School
the
ended
year
Friday
for you.
over here.
Yeah.
School for me. I'm still in high school, guys. So yes,
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
suspended.
Yeah.
Just had
The
my
girlfriend
prom,
is a
guys.
teacher as well. Just had my prom. Girlfriend just finished it. I didn't wait, but she's not a gamer, so it doesn't even matter except if it's Mario Kart or Mario Party. But yeah, you got to get on this. Breath of the Wild was a top 3 game for me, and this one just blows Breath of the Wild out of the park. Like
is really good.
The innovation in it is the
Nuts.
thing that really compels me. I
Incredible.
think. Because
Incredible.
I'm sure you've seen them on the TikToks, on the Twitter, whatever. But people are building like literal cages that they could just drop over top of enemies, and then the lasers just shred them in the cage, or like bridges that drive themselves over the lava. Like
it's nuts.
I know
just
that
did
it's
that actually.
There's so many like pathways that you can take per
It's
like
phenomenal, man.
execution. It's so good.
Yeah.
And we interviewed what was his name, Paul from Wildcard or whatever, the guy who made
Yes.
like Age of Empires or whatever. He's like losing his fucking mind about how, because he's a game developer for literally 40 years. I don't even understand how they build this on a Switch. I just don't understand how they can do it. It doesn't make any sense. It's incredible.
it has a pretty good like the APU in this Switch
So
is pretty
sick.
good. It can handle
Yeah.
the processes for like computing. It's just the graphics are ass, which is fine.
Yeah.
That's their job, right? Nintendo doesn't make good graphic consoles.
Never
That's
has.
okay.
They just make
Whoa,
good.
whoa,
Nah,
whoa.
GameCube.
You tell me you played the last Paper Mario. That water in Paper Mario was like the best water I've ever seen in my entire life.
This guy.
Water has looked good since Xbox.
Now, that water, I'm telling you right now, go on YouTube, look at the last Paper Mario. That water was
away.
next level water. Just,
All right.
All right.
Water's wet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
is it though?
Don't even start. Oh,
No,
my
no,
God.
wait, wait.
Fucking
Water
started, this
is
guy.
not wet. It's not.
You got him started. Oh God.
Just saying.
He's gonna argue with about this.
No, we'll keep on going. We'll keep on going. But oh, good times, good times.
water
Joseph,
makes
hey,
things wet.
yes, thank you. Hey, man,
There you go. He saved it. Yeah, we saved an hour rant. There you go.
Safe. That could have been another extra hour on this side. But man, Joseph, hey, listen, this has been the second time you've been on the podcast. It's been a pleasure to have you. We're having to wrap this up. Every time you're on this, we go way beyond what we're supposed to. So that means
Yeah,
we're just
sorry.
having a good time on this. I know, don't be.
It's all right.
We're
No,
having
it's
a
great.
blast. We're having fun. Again, let me say the last thing that we would love to have you on as many times as possible to just shoot the shit, talk about what you're doing. You're one of those people that we always look upon for someone that's building in the space, and we want to have on because we value your opinion and we want to have good things in this space. And for you to be in it, that is why we love it, because you're in this space and you're making me want to play Sandbox. So it's working.
That's hard.
It's
You know what I
working.
mean?
Yeah, it's worked.
It's working. It's worked. Every time
It
you
worked.
come on, I go back onto it. So I'm like, all right, let me try it again. So
You got rugged,
again, thank you
chat.
so
Got rugged
much
a
for
little bit.
stopping by. The last
Yeah.
I
thing
will
we'll
say
go ahead-
that 2-time people on our shows are Wob, Psych, and you now. So
Wow.
there's not very many.
yes,
Great company.
Yeah, exactly. You
No
want to be
kidding.
with those.
No kidding. Yeah. Thank you for
Absolutely.
letting me be on the show. I'm gonna do a little shill real quick as we
Go ahead.
close.
Yes, that's
in.
what I was gonna say.
So,
Do it.
Yeah, oh no, I know the game. I know the program. I've done some podcasting, right? Okay, so you can, if you want to find me, you can go to twitter.com/thevisionex. Smash it all together, the Vision X. And you can find more about the Wizzyverse on twitter.com/thecounciltech. The Council TECH. And join us in the Discord. Hang out with the Sand Fam. When we just wanted to do a closed test, we opened this up for 5 seconds and said, hey, anybody who wants to hang out with us, come over to the Discord. 200 people smashed in. We closed it down for a week because it was like instantaneous. We were able to get the feedback and make the adjustments that we needed to in the Discord to do what you want to do. So you're able to find all the cool little side stuff that have nothing to do with the Sandbox game and everything to do with community in there. So if you just want to have fun with people, these people are excited to have fun with you. You don't have to be a holder.
We lost Total Hill over there.
Yeah, sorry. Hill made a
Damn,
joke.
Hill.
Hill was like, man, you guys need moderators. And I was like, well, that's crazy. You're a moderator. And
Wow, boom, you're a
Hill was
moderator.
like, I didn't ask for this. And I was like, I didn't mean to force it upon
Yeah,
you.
we used
And
to
she
know
was
this
like, no,
woman.
but-
She was great. She used to
Yeah.
hang out with us all the time. No,
yeah, I'm
it's gone.
sorry.
Faded to the vapor.
It happens. Yeah, to be fair, you guys are great. You're cool. And like, I come in on a podcast like yours and I'm like, shit, I could just do this every day. You know what I mean? Like you guys,
That's right.
It's really fun. You guys are really good at this and had a great time all the time. But if you're over on the Discord, there is a section just for white paper talk. So if you want to see what we're all about, if you want to see what those 14 pages are and how you can get yourself a part of $150,000, then check it out. Have some fun with us. And we're releasing them this summer. So you will see more of the Wizzyverse. You're going to see more all day, every day. I'll put out a little bit more information on the Council Tech. So if you don't want to read the white paper and you just want to get it in little bites as we lead up to that launch, don't worry. I've got an invitable content as well.
Very nice.
I-
While
I
we were
like
on
it.
this
You're getting-
podcast, ETH
Oh,
is
yeah.
up to 1920, so it's up like
Ooh.
$40.
You know, it's
while
not a
we're on.
coincidence. It's not a coincidence. I come on your show and
It's just you, right?
It's a pump.
Yeah,
No,
just
it's not
you,
me.
right?
You're the pump. You're the
Hey, and
pump.
by the way,
And-
the one thing we didn't talk about was Crier dumping on our head. So we'll save that for the third time that you'll be
There
on
we
the
go.
show later on. And we'll talk about how Crier's been just bamboozling us on the shitcoin side. We'll talk about that later. And again, thank you so much for stopping by. It's going to be a whizzy summer for everyone listening. The last thing I got to say is this week, Thursday, is Into the Spider-Verse 2. So get your tickets, get ready. Joseph, thank you so much for stopping by. For the listeners, we'll catch you later this week with another episode of NerdFT Radio. Grab a brick
Peace.
and throw it on a wall. Peace.
This guy.